Hi everyone, I'm Jamie Delane Watson. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Last week I was shooting a wedding and I had an idea for a video I could share with you guys. So I walked into this getting ready room, which was a nursery in a church building, and thought, how are we going to make this work? There was toys everywhere, there was a bunch of us crammed in there. The bride was so sweet. She laughed and she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know there was going to be this many toys everywhere. So right away we got to work and we created these beautiful detail images out of this. And I can't wait to show you how we did it. So the very first thing you want to do when you walk into a challenging room for getting ready in detail shots is you want to locate the window light, your natural source of light, that all of your detail images and your getting ready images are going to be framed around that light source. So in this room, there was one window, well there was a couple windows, but there was one window near kind of a neutral wall. There was a few different things on there that were kind of nursery themed, like different animals. I moved what I could off the wall, and anything else I made sure that it would be easy enough to clone out in Photoshop afterwards. So the next step is arranging all of the bride's details near that window. So these kind of images don't just happen. It didn't just happen that this part of the room was clean. That's something me and my second shooter walk into the room, assess the situation, and we get to work. And this is also something that's so nice to have a second shooter for, because it takes a lot of time and organization to manage all of these things while still trying to capture some candid moments. So right away I get my second shooter to try to find a better hanger. I get her help moving the dress. I sent my second shooter, Wendy, out to the hallway to find a better chair that we could drape the veil over, and all of these different things. So you need to kind of use not even what's just in the room, but what could be nearby outside the room. So looking for a wooden hanger if you can find it. Looking for a nice chair if you can find it to put details on. Or you could throw a veil or a bridesmaid's dress to cover that chair to then just provide a background so you're not shooting details right on the floor. Sometimes it helps to have a chair. So right away we get to organizing and we clear the clutter, take everything off the walls that we can, and just really pay attention to that light source. And the window light is something that you can't fake, so that's really important. We open up the blinds. If it's possible, we pull the whole blinds like right up. In this case, this was right next to a parking lot where guests were arriving, so we chose to just like tilt the blinds a little bit rather than open it right up, just to be careful with guests. We don't want them to see the bride. When I'm shooting detail photos in challenging situations, I don't tend to get too much of the room. If it's a pretty hotel room or a pretty bedroom, you can use some of the architectural or design elements in the room. If it's a situation like this one, we're gonna wanna take detail shots really up close and just get the veil, the bouquet, the rings, any jewelry, the shoes, and just keep it nice and tight there. And the only images where I'm using some elements of the room would be, of course, for the dress photos, because we need to still get full-length photos of the dress hanging. And then when it comes time for the bride to get into her dress, I instruct her to pull the dress like halfway up until she's comfortable in like a private room, and then she comes out right to that exact window light spot. So it's the same spot that we've completely cleared for the dress photos and all the detail photos. I show her where to stand, I show her which angle, because you want her facing towards the window light. And then from that point, I'm just shooting candidly the rest of the time until she's fully into her dress. I have one more little tip when you're photographing detail images. I wanted to take these ring before and after shots for you. You can see right there on the screen. And the only difference between these two images is just a piece of 8.5 by 11 white paper that's off to the right side. So on the left side of this image, we have the window light coming in and these rings are positioned on a chair. And on the right side of the image, we have an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper bouncing that light back towards the ring. And you see, I'll toggle between the two so you can see the major difference between that bit of light in the center of the diamond and how beautiful it makes that detail shot look. Once again, something you can find anywhere. I didn't bring this piece of paper. It was like a nursery check-in sheet for the children for Sundays. And I just borrowed it and then put it right back. And so yeah, just a simple tip for you. So I hope this very practical video inspired you to make the most of any getting ready situation. You know, wedding days are crazy things. There's so many different things going on in the timeline. Just logistically, it might not make sense for it to be the most perfect setting like a hotel room or a completely clean bedroom. to capture beautiful getting ready images, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't still be delivering beautiful, clean, simple getting ready images for our brides. So this is how I did it, and I hope you find it helpful. Have a great day.